maintain that for as long as possible, and breaststroke kick. Whenever I lose my stride, I lose my breath, lose whatever, breaststroke kick, gather a few breaths, and get back. Get back to the freestyle. Get back to the freestyle. Get back to the freestyle. Because I literally saw a fucking guy do the test just doing breaststroke kick.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's possible you can do breaststroke kick and be fast enough. But I can also freestyle. Freestyle is probably the fastest mode of swimming if you're doing it right. So mixture of the two should give me a little bit of confidence and safety because it's like, okay, well, if I'm out of breath, I don't have to continue freestyling like I did before because that would fuck me in the ass, bro. Like you're out of breath and you're trying to continue. Yeah, it just wasn't fun. I keep my head out of the water and still continue forward motion of swimming. I'll be fine. I pass it. I'm gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Yeah, I saw this guy on the metro the other day, and it was this tall ass fucking white burly dude. He had on his not his battle dress, but his I forget uniform, whatever. And he was a ranger. Had ranger, and airborne tab. I wanted to say something to him so bad. I was like, I'm going for pararescue. And he knows what pararescue is. Pararescue, Rangers, and Green Berets usually they've worked a lot together in the past. So they know about each other.
Right now.
Rangers, somebody goes down, they send Rangers to scout and go get them. And if the Rangers go down, guess what they send for them? They send PJs. Anybody, special forces, or anybody goes down, and PJs are the QRF. Yeah. So you know each other. But it was just one of those things where I was like, I'm not even fucking. Yeah. That just made me think. He looked cool as shit, man. And not even just because he looked cool, but I know what he did. There's probably other people on the bus that's like, oh yeah, that guy looks cool as fuck. He got whatever. They have no idea what Rangers do. Bro. Like, guy was probably in combat at some point. And he was just chilling on the metro, probably going to a government building or something. He's probably a representative now. It's cool. I was out in the off topic. We were watching Zero Dark 30 and they brought out like Black Hawks or whatever that they used to assassinate Bin Laden.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I was like, those are Air Force guys working on. What do I gotta do to get clearance like that to go to Area 51 and work on classified aircraft? That sounds cool as shit.
Does sound cool as shit, however. You know.
That's something I would want to do. What? Getting promoted, you're gonna work on this.
Yeah, you're gonna try and reverse engineer this alien technology that we found.
I wouldn't give a flying fuck. If I'm working on shit like that, smiling everywhere. Nobody, I ain't gonna be able to tell nobody about it. But like, yeah, man. No, we'll come back and we can talk about it though. Just blow me up, kill me. I was watching. Wait, home. I was thinking about the fucking the Zero Dark 30 movie that I told you to watch, right?
I actually have watched that in theater, yeah. Long time ago.
Funny thing, how they were. I never really watched that movie to fullest, but I always just kind of knew that last half, like how they were torturing people and stuff. And Obama was like, "No, we're not doing that." The whole operation got exposed. That was very, very interesting. Fucking fire in California. We were talking about that, me and the ladies, because they asked me how I felt about that, and I told her I was like, I'm one of those people that something's going on. I always tell people to look a little deeper, right? Mm-hmm. Back in history, 9 times out of 10, you have people saying, "Hey, this is going on," or you got a lot of people saying, "Hey, why did this happen?" Whatever. A lot of times, just stuff comes to fruition that got a lot of red flags to begin with. Didn't either realize it or whatever the case may be.
Well, let's be a little bit more specific because I think you and me are both thinking along the same lines. For me,
so let's talk about.
Yeah, like,
I mean, we can use anything. Like, let's just talk about fucking. I don't know. And I said
we don't
this
need
then.
an example. I just think that it's odd that everything around the biggest city in that state right before an inauguration is just burning to shreds. California is susceptible to these wildfires. It's a fact. It's dead there. It is literally meant to just burn at this point, which is sad, but it's a fact, and it will continue to happen. But for me to not sit here with my tinfoil hat on and be like, huh.
Yeah, there's just a lot of red flags, right? So these people's insurance, people's fire insurance got canceled months before. That's red flag number one.
Interesting.
Right? So you're living in the state that's most prone to fires. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
They have a couple of wildfires a year. Some of them don't go reported, but it happens on a regular basis, right? The reason you're seeing this large reactionary force, even on YouTube and TV right now, with all these airplanes and helicopters, is because they have those ready. It's a fire state.
Yeah.
So that's red flag number one. People's insurance got canceled. Red flag number two is that for some reason, sometime between now and like the last election, they defunded the fire department. Last time I checked, I don't even live in California, but just hearing from citizens and not listening to politics, listening to citizens, they have a policing problem for one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, there's a homeless problem. There's a lot of
that's a major
what do you call them? Dude, what do you call them? What do they call them? They have like a weird word for them, deviants or something. Like they call homeless people.
I don't know their lingo out there. I just know it's rampant.
But on top of that, right? You got these homeless people. You got the policing, but on top of that, like their legislator went in a completely like the wrong direction, right? So they defund the fire department. They put more funding in the police force, which can't fight fires. Can't fight homelessness. You can't lock up every homeless guy out there. And their streets are dirty, from what I've heard. You know what I'm saying? Just from what I've heard, This is from rich people and poor people. They say the same thing. It's
a reason people are fleeing that state and have been since COVID. It's been a shit show.
Right. So, yeah, that's red flag number two, right? Their politicians and legislature is made they fumbled very largely, right? You have these rumors, right? I've heard fucking news reports about this being a terrorist attack.
Mm-hmm.
You got people saying that they saw people lighting the fires.
Oh yeah, man.
Fucking
arson attacks. Listen, man, and I'll throw out like, hey, it could have been our own government. I do think that we've tested with shit. That's a completely different.
It's another rumor is that think about Hawaii. Those people get like $800 a week, and they just lost their entire. In my opinion, your house is the biggest investment you'll make in your life. Where you decide to live, I realize it, but the amount of money you put into your home, it supersedes everything. It supersedes anything else that you may invest in life.
Yeah,
for most people,
they could wipe out that state.
So the fact that people have lost their home, and even the people in Hawaii haven't gotten the proper support that they need at this point,
right?
Knows what's going on. But the same thing, a correlation that I've seen between the two, you hear BlackRock's name come up. You have these people, and you already know the rumors about Project 2025 and these 2-minute cities and all types of other shit, whatever the case may be. Now you have these people that have the money and have the power and the ability to buy this land. Like, I mean, after your property gets burned down, it may not still belong to you. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, how does we don't really know how this works,
No, I mean Hawaii, the people that stuff those places were cordoned off. You can't go to your house. You
No,
go to your
they
house,
yeah.
and they made it seem like it's because they were investigating.
Right.
I'm pretty sure those people still aren't able to go to their
I
house.
think they
Maybe they are.
a
I could
lot
be
of people
wrong.
got fucked over from that, and I think that there wasn't enough money it's being supported towards that.
But
And I think that's the same case. Way I look at it with these wildfires, it's like we let this shit go on. I know that we have people dedicated to this, and I'm not saying they aren't doing their job. I just find it odd that we can make a nuclear bomb and destroy a fucking large portion of the Earth's population with the one bomb, yet we can't put out these fires.
there's a reason for that. They just defunded the fire department, and on top of that, for some reason, the red flag said the water was off. Right, and then you go back and you have these whistleblowers and people talking about, oh yeah, all the water is gone for a reason. You know, the raw water belongs to so and so. Sometimes we don't have water. We didn't have water reservoir, so everything was just set up for failure.
Well, it's
And
same thing with Hawaii, right? And this situation, it's like, okay, if they don't have the direct help that they need there, and this is a big enough issue, which, in I think in most people's opinion, that is a pretty big concern. The fires going on out there, what happened in Hawaii. Why don't we make a military effort like we do for I don't know, Ukraine? Why aren't we right on there?
that's a perfect question because we give a lot of money to Gaza, Ukraine, wars, and people are starting to ask questions like, okay, well, if we have $1 billion, if Elon Musk's net worth alone is higher than all the damage at this point, and his net worth is still higher.
Yes.
Tell me, so you mean to tell me that all this money we have floating around the United States and niggas can't make some crazy shit happen? Remember, so let's think about it, just a random idea I had.
Right.
You remember that movie Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, everyone.
there was this asteroid coming in. So they get this billionaire, and he's like, you know what? We got this. We're gonna build these robots to destroy this asteroid. Imagine if some shit like that happened here. All right, there's a fucking huge fire here. All the people that have money are like, okay, well, we can do something about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to wait for Canada and fucking, what is it, Ghana? I think somewhere in South African area, somewhere around there, they're sending firefighters here. We got to get firefighters from fucking Africa because it's so bad. Are you fucking kidding me? You gotta have one state that is on fire.
That to me
You just cannot
just
contain
tells
it.
you that things are not right.
I mean, yeah, this it's a shit
I
show.
understand it's a huge fire, and then there's gonna be a lot of people that look at this logically, like, it's just hard to.
It's understandable. There are some things that are understandable, like why it took so long for the airplanes to get out there and why it's so hard to contain. I don't think people realize, but I've realized just in the recent times, like this is a very windy season of LA or where that just entire region. Like you just look at videos, it's always windy. Like that wind is blowing, like hit you in the face blowing. And that just isn't helping. That kind of prevents aircraft from doing certain maneuvers and stuff because you don't want to cause casualties because the wind is so bad. That's a flying hazard, and it just intensifies the fire and causes it to move probably even faster. I've never seen a fire like that. So who knows if you're 1 minute you see a fire across the street and then you go to grab your stuff and you come back outside and now the whole fucking block is engulfed. You never know how. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone there.
Right.
But it sounded like it was just so how contained it is. Some of those fires are still 0% contained. So that means they're not even trying because
we
it's
do
just
that
so
in
big and
general,
bad.
365 days a year. We just let fires burn. That's just got to be a fact. There's fires that they'll control them, quote unquote. Make sure that
if BlackRock or anyone, if any company, I swear to God, if any company comes and buys up all this land, turns it into what stadium, this, that, and the third. If they do anything other than help these people rebuild their fucking houses, I'm gonna flip.
no, you know.
And I
what they're
hope
gonna
everybody
do?
else does.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna make a bunch of apartments and a bunch of places that you can rent and not own, because that's what BlackRock would like. They will buy up all these places and have you rent it. You don't own anything. You will be
Like I
happy.
said,
2030.
if that happens, and I'm gonna be pissed off. And if I'm over here on the East Coast, there ain't no fires happening here, and I'm pissed off because that's happening. Those people down there better be pissed off it's happening, and the neighboring states and everybody fucking else in the United States. Because at this point, bro, like remember I said they were like limit testing, assassinating people and shit, dude. Like, what? To what length are we gonna let our country go to? Like, as far as I'm concerned, I can see a republic, this and third, whatever. Last time I fucking checked, that means us citizens have a say so.
I say no.
You don't have a say so. Have a say so like the fires that's going on, legislator that's getting passed, these fucking operations that are going on.
And speak for the they're supposed to speak for us,
That's
people.
a funny thing.
That's not how it works.
That's really a funny thing because the girls we were talking to, they were talking about, you know, how Trump, Biden, quote unquote, was trying to like make himself look good, like by releasing these prisoners and passing these laws and stuff like that. And I had to say to him, I was like, "You think Biden actually doing stuff? That nigga can't even see straight, boy. What make you think he's calling shots?
They got part of it.
Somebody's passing him a note, and he said, "All right, this is what we finna do."
Nope, that dude is not reading. He has
he can't. That's the funny like reality of it. Like I had to check him because I was like, listen, Biden literally is at the end of his days, brother. Like he is not calling the shots. Whatever you see going on right now is just the Democratic Party trying to make themselves look good, and it ain't even Biden. Biden, dude, after he is not president anymore, dude, we're probably knows if we see that guy yet, bro. Honest to God, like
I'm surprised
Bill Clinton
wasn't gonna be.
Bill Clinton is more like mentally there than no.
Well, he's all yeah. He was
older. Is Bill Clinton older or fucking Joe Biden?
Biden's old, actually.
Oh, Biden old ass. Hey, that's who people voted. That's how people voted for him, man. People thought, oh, this is what we need. And this is just a fucking shit show. Who knows what's going on?
So about what's happened on I don't think we talked about this on the first of the year, New Year's Day. You know those events that happened and the terrorist attacks?
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Right, we did address that. Yeah.
Oh well, I talked to those girls about it today.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think we talked about it.
Oh well, let me give my spiel. So I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't even really know what was fucking going on, and then I found out these two incidents happened, and both of these guys served in the military. One was still active duty, and
one of them worked at military base that has a lot of like out of history.
Both these guys served in Afghanistan at the same time.
Made IEDs and shit. It's crazy.
And they both rented vehicles from the same company. At the same time. You're renting from the same exact company. That's where you get your car. Starts with a T, like
Toro?
Yeah, Toro. Something like that. They're both same day, different states, both had military background.
All right, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. That doesn't sound right.
That's why I'm just saying, like, I knew it. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, bullshit, dude. Okay.
I heard it labeled a terrorist attack. If they label it a terrorist attack, I'm immediately stepping away from it for a second.
The first one, I think, was clearly like set up. I don't know. To me, that guy was in a cyber truck.
Wait. Actually, now that you brought this up, the guy that did the Trump building or whatever, the hotel, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
He sent an email.
Yeah.
He sent an email to. Did you watch that video?
Yeah. Saw that. Right, that shit.
So, oh my god. So that dude, that goes back to the fucking video where I was telling you about the airplane. airplane that disappeared, and they were talking about they have technology. Didn't he fucking say in that shit they had technology that word that people don't know about? Wait a minute, bro. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
no, we don't even need the video. I can tell you that.
What was the email? Do you have like a picture of or do you have the video somewhere? Because I want to watch it again. Because they were talking, they read the email out. Because the dude, because all right, oh my god. So listen. All right, I'm pausing. So there's this video that Candace Owens released where she's talking to this guy that's pretty much investigative reporter about the airplane that disappeared. Right? I forget what the name of that whole flight was, but the world got a chance to see it because it looked like three orbs had kind of like made this airplane teleport into thin air. So that's that. So he's reporting and he's done his research. He's talking to people and whistleblowers that's worked at this Diego Garcia Air Force base or whatever, or base, whatever it is. And they're talking about, these classified, you know, pretty much, let's just say future fucking space technology grade airspace or aircraft that they have, and they had just access to this technology that's would change the world and just change everything
It would
just because they
change
have
our fun,
literally
like
it's
the
like
way we think about
anti-gravitic,
physics.
right? So if you watch that video of the airplane flying, and they break down all the factual information like the flight manifest and everything, they're not just like, oh, look at this plane, oh, it disappeared, what happened, oh, here's what I heard. There's a lot of actual factual evidence that led up to them actually coming to this conclusion. So the conclusion is that we have access to like anti-gravity aircraft, kind of, sort of, like whatever you could use your wildest imagination. You imagine just a UFO and how that UFO is flying, like it's able to increase altitude, decrease altitude, shift in 360 degrees, all without the need of like jet propulsion, which is I would say our technological
That's our milestone. That's our greatest, one of our greatest
that's like where
achievements.
we're at right now. Yeah, we're at jet propulsion, right? So they're pretty
Supposedly.
much saying that we are way beyond that, and we have discovered and are using currently technology that is beyond our human comprehension, right? So that's just that investigation. That's just something that's out on the internet. There's who knows what the percentage of people that know about that and watch that video and then also watch this video and then made a connection. Right?
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that was like, I just heard somebody else talking about this. That's kind of weird because you look on Wiki, there's nothing about it, and if there is anything about it, it's been discredited. It's like, oh well, nah, that's fucking crazy. But then you have these people that have obviously done investigations and they have evidence that stuff like this exists, including that airplane video. So now you have this guy that suicide bombed, right? And he sends this email to Sam Shoemate, whatever, or no, Matt Livelsberger. Oh, okay, so that's the bomber's name, and he sent it to Sam Shoemate. So this is on the Sam Ryan show. I'll send you a link to it. So this is what the email says, and it just connects two dots very weirdly and strangely. It says, in case I do not make it to my decision point or on to the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1st January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 Black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, quote unquote, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China in the East Coast, but throughout history, the U.S. throughout history, the U.S. So that's just one thing. Because you remember, like it was a couple years ago. I don't remember when exactly it was. You remember those like balloons
Yeah, man.
that
That was all the rage.
China quote unquote had all over the
Yeah.
place that they were shooting down and shit.
Spying on us, and
So
we got to
that's
shoot
the
them
first thing
down
that
from
makes
the
me go,
air.
wait. That's the first thing. Yeah, that's the first thing that makes me go, So he continues to say, only we in China have this capability. Our Opsin location for this activity in the box is below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years. And there's a report somebody made, I think it was a couple of months ago that I seen about that, like these drones are coming from the ocean, whatever, but it never caught any traction, obviously. Of course, it didn't catch any traction.
Hmm.
But back to what he's saying, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force. And they are using it similar to how they use the SIGINT and ISR. So if you don't know what ISR is, that's pretty much just like surveillance by a drone.
Right.
Somebody sits behind a computer and they control a drone and control the camera on it, and it's just how that works. I don't know what SIGINT is, but it's probably something similar to that. Right, somebody is controlling some type of unmanned aircraft. So, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. So that's another thing that makes me squint my eyes and go.
Hey,
Cause I mean, think about it. If China had fucking balloons all over the Atlantic and shit, you think we're shooting down all of them?
no, and we don't even know if they are China's. It's just an easy scapegoat. But to bring context to this, what specifically were you like originally like pointing this out to? The what is this flight called? Let's
So I can go to it in a second. Cause if you
figure
go to
this out.
Candace Owens her page, she's talking to a guy that pretty much goes into it because he's an investigative reporter and he's talked.
Into the context here, this is Flight 370. It says
Yeah,
27
I want to read
million
it for like whoever's
views
watching it.
um in this
So
video.
he continues to say, so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft, they are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over White House if they want it. It's checkmate. The U.S. government needs to give the history of this. How are we employing it and weaponizing it? How China is employing them and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere it goes. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely to want to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive vehicle-borne ID. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and kept my phone, and they're definitely digitally tracking me. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that are covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz prominence in Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, Department of Defense, DEA, CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes for over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civilian casualties. So that's verifiable. If we go on this guy's military history and he was an ISR operator, that makes perfect sense. That killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. US 4 continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM, and the UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. The administration. I was part of that cover up with US 4 and Agent Blackout. Blacked out. It doesn't give the name of the agent for, I guess, security purposes of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I work with Jen Miller's IO staff on this as well as a response as Balam, whatever, it's talking foreign language. You need to elevate this to the media so we can avoid a world war because this is mutually assured destruction situation. For vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg, Matthew Lisberger, active duty 18Z out of 110 profile. My public have active with the UAP. Damn. So even at the time this guy did this, he had a certification with unmanned aerial aircraft, and he had access up to terminals. That's fucking crazy. So that's crazy in itself. But then you go to this Candace Owens video and they're talking about this guy who's just like a regular citizen, didn't serve in the military, hasn't been on a military base, hasn't worked on the ISR, and he's just going through like literally talking about the same fucking thing. And it's weird to have two perspectives because you have the perspective of somebody that's literally done it and they know it exists for 100% fact. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have somebody that's done enough investigative reporting and they have done a big enough investigation that they're like also like, holy shit, this is happening. So imagine if these two people sat in a room and just had a fucking conversation. That'd be wild. But that's what that whole situation stuck out to me the most because it all points back to the same thing. Just like we were fucking talking about before, the CIA and fucking the deep state doing some shady shit that we're just not fully aware of. And at this point, it's like this video is talking about it.
Yeah, I mean,
The system that they're talking about, but I mean, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I wouldn't cross my mind. You even spoke about it. Like if pilots have a gag order. So say they see some fucking floating shit that shouldn't be floating, like
you
flying
can't
in a way
talk
that shouldn't
about
be
that.
flying,
You want your
and
job?
they can't say anything about it. They literally cannot say anything about it because the people that are controlling that have a gag order.
You only need to
The
know what
public
you need
cannot
to
know
know.
about this.
That's how
Exactly.
it's very compartmentalized. As that's how we follow through in the military,
I mean,
and that's
that's
how
just
we.
how it is. It's straight secrecy.
I mean, even as you work your way up in the chain of command, you only know what you need to know. Like you could be working on some weird shit, but you might not even really know what you're.
Like it was like a year and a half ago. Guys literally came out on this committee. We're talking about UFOs and the existence of them. That has just completely fucking stopped talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's funny. We're still talking about fucking celebrities and like the bullshit that's been happening with Cardi B. People they're still reporting on that in the news, but these guys that literally come out and say, "Hey, we worked in the fucking military. We had clearance. We had access to this. There UFOs exist, and we have entire programs
Well,
dedicated to them."
that just shows where society's
And
really at.
nobody
That
gives a fuck anymore.
exactly that you can literally say there's aliens, but
These niggas can say we got ET in the basement and we playing chess, and a week later, niggas be like, "Yeah, what? What are you talking about?" Just like I was thinking about what you told me about that video too. Like, saw that video 20 years later, so they had 20 years to try to figure out what the fuck
2004
happened in
with
this
the
video,
Tic Tac.
and if they even if they did know, that is absolutely insane.
Well,
You finding out about this 20 years later.
yeah, the public, but they just held on to that. Like they just
Right.
and for whatever reason that just gets out. Like,
Like,
hey,
why would you trust anything these
that
people have to
that just
say?
gets out, and so
They do everything in their literal power to keep you in the dark. If they give you anything, and at that point, I'm pretty sure it's really nothing because that's really what they've been giving you the entire time. What makes you think like nothing? You're not gonna sit here and tell me anything that the CIA is just gonna come out one day and be like, you know what, we're sorry, we've been fucking up.
sorry for
It's
what,
not gonna fucking happen.
you
I
know.
was watching Zero Dark 30. There was this moment where the CIA girl, she was meeting up with this guy that was whatever, and he detonated a bomb. And they said something very caught my ear. It was like that was like one of the very first attacks on the CIA, right? So it was unintentional to attack the CIA, I think. But that just goes to show who's attacked the CIA. We're not gonna talk about attacking the CIA, but if you go into history, like nobody has really put their thumb on the CIA's neck and be like, all right, spill the beans.
Oh no.
Right. So that's just weird to me. The CIA has been doing, covert black operations, all types of stuff for years and years and years, centuries, and like nobody says anything about it.
Well, yeah. So to bring that back full circle, like I just told you, some pretty basic things. Like, okay, both these guys served the same time. Apparently, didn't know each other, but it was still they served. One was still active duty, and they both do this on opposite sides of the country, the same day. One is just suicide. Doesn't hurt anyone. The other one is this guy that is clearly out of his mind, right? And it's him running down 14 people in near New Orleans. I just
What if?
I just think that like think about like I think we both agree at the fact that okay, this is weird. Um, we connected the dots that both these guys served same
What
time,
if?
same day,
What if?
and they both got the same dealership. So therefore,
Wait.
but we gloss over that as people, I think.
What if? What if, right? So this guy sent this email talking about how he's being followed and profiled. So they knew he was probably gonna do something. A risk like him blowing up his fucking vehicle. So, what if? This is just a big what if. Just roll with me here for a second. What if they staged that second attack? Like the guy ran over people. I feel like you mentioned something very important. Like those two attacks are very different. One guy obviously goes out to kill people, right? Obviously is trying to make it seem like he's attacking people. One guy, he sends out this email. It's kind of like a whistleblower, and then just blows himself up pretty
Hmm.
much to bring attention to himself. So, what if again this guy said he was being profiled, followed, and they knew about it? What if they staged that second guy to take attention away or kind of like minimize what this guy is? Because if this guy was the only attack, so this email gets out, and more people are like, okay, well this guy, like, what's going on with this motherfucker? And then more people are drawn to this email, right? Because this email is important. This email is valid, which I feel it has
Let
validity.
let me stop you right there. As far as like, because if I were to say which one, there was only to be one that was um intentional, you know, it would be the suicide.
Right. That's what I'm saying. What if
And
this? What if the other one was staged and he kind of one upped him, and people over, got out the car and started shooting and shit. Like, what if they
ah,
did that on purpose to kind of bring attention away from this guy literally blowing the whistle on basically like.
oh, they both happen to just get the same car
But if that was
type of
again,
shit.
if they set up the second guy to make this seem like it was something else,
Well, I would think
is
that
which
the first one was. So are we
they knew
saying?
exactly where the first guy would have gotten his car from. Where they said, "All right, you're gonna get your car from here as well."
And we're just
I
gonna
was it was
fucking
just a what
run.
if.
We're just gonna run people over. I think both accusations, most people aren't gonna click with, but just the fact that they both served did the same type of not the same thing, but one actually did kill people was technically terrorist attack. The
You
other
know that
one
that
was a
that the
suicide.
CIA has mind control. Not even mind control. They have some sort of something of that nature. We have reports, literally reports. And you can go read right now that say they were successful in creating something of that nature.
Yeah,
So again,
you don't think we're working on that every single day?
I feel, and what I just said, that what if isn't a wild accusation? What if they set the second guy up to just do like something crazy as well, to bring
No,
attention
it's
away from the actual guy that's like blowing himself up to get attention towards, not even for himself. He doesn't want fame. He doesn't want anything. He wants people to realize like, hey, they have these gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft, as he put it, and something several people have spoken about and reported on, and some news and talk about it. But that would change a lot. That's just something I just thought about because
well,
these two
yeah.
things seem really different to me. Like one guy was just like he like he did podcasts or something.
Hmm.
Like he had a media presence. He wasn't just some like fucking basement rat or something. the actual person, people got him, whatever. Probably more to that story that we don't know. But on the outside looking in, if someone ignore their news reports and look at like who these people were and what they were actually trying to do, like one guy was literally just trying to cause havoc and pretty much just kill people. Then you got this other guy that's like, you guys need to hear this, and the only way it's gonna get out is if I go and blow my fucking self up, and everybody knows my name, and now you know that this email I sent to
Yeah,
this guy.
let's both rent cars from the same fucking company and do this shit on the same day. That's where that's my whole thing. That's I think
One
most
guy's
people are
being
gonna
one guy's being controlled
overlook that.
and made to do something of this nature, like just in theory, if he was made to do something of this nature, yes, I'm anything is possible. They could have bought the exact same fucking car and said, all right, well you're gonna go here or whatever.
Well, and
I don't. At this point,
people would
anything is
buy
possible.
people would buy it. They're buying this, that both these tragic things happened without
Okay, new
any.
details. FBI confirms the email. Okay, so yeah, bro, this is I kind of
What are you reading?
no. So the FBI confirmed that this email actually came from the guy. The FBI is investigating the email and all that other stuff as well. Of course they are, but thing is, this email has already gotten out to the public, so it cannot be redacted. This video has got a couple million views.
Yeah, if it's out there for the public, it's supposed to be out there public.
Who know? You never know, dude. Listen, listen, listen.
I know at this point.
Just like we talked about it. Just like we talked about it. These independent independent media reporters are changing the way things. Because say if this guy reposted this video, right, and it's like how you guys are saying, okay, well they don't want people to see this video, so it gets taken down. So then he tries to upload it again, it gets taken down. So not only I'm pretty sure this Sean fucking Ryan guy probably has other social media platforms as well. He can go in there and be like, "Hey, I'm trying to post this video about this email that this suicide bomber is trying to get to me." These guys are like they're literally whistleblowers in themselves. This is the one way that information can really get out without a filter on it. So in my opinion, in today's world, I mean, if you just go on the internet and look for this stuff, like if I look up Matt Leisberger email on Google right now, I probably get different results than what I'm looking at right now. This fucking guy reporting on it, literally showing the email on the screen. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
like to add to that, they've proven that
I'll look it up right now,
um
just because I want to see what'll pop up.
based on what your results are, like that you typically searches, your results will be different for you than they are for me.
Why do they say
And we can look up the same thing.
alleged manifesto? Funny. After writing, criticizing, everybody's alleged manifesto.
Controlling information now is the most
You already know
powerful
they control
way.
the flow of it.
And there's an overabundance of information. Never had this entire time that we, according to our history at least,
I mean,
we're
to round up the whole
overfilled.
conversation, like I was telling those ladies to look deep in the California fires, the suicide bombings. Just look, because there's always going to be people out there posting what they know, and then you have the news posting what they think they know. I would look at I would look at all the sources. Go on YouTube, go on the internet, go on fucking, just see what's out there. At this point, I don't think people are really realizing and opening their eyes yet, but we really can't trust our government at this point. I mean, that's a really big it's about statement, but we really can't. Like they lie to us all the time. Who knows what amount of misdirection is going on at this very moment right now? Who knows what's going on? Who knows what the plan is? Who knows what's going on behind closed doors, right? So,
Well, it takes people like us that's questioning, even though it seems stupid or whatever to a majority of people
It
that
doesn't
already
seem stupid.
have their scripted opinions. It's good to actually express something that is in human nature since our existence, and that's our ability to like expand upon like what we know and try to learn more and see things from different perspectives. And if we all thought the same, and you know
It's okay to think differently. There's nothing wrong with being different or having a
well,
different perspective or a different
that's been built
mindset.
into the foundation
Right.
of
Because you're
humanity.
absolutely right. Now you have the left, the right, the up, the down, the behind, in front. You have all these people that are just seemingly don't like each other or have some type just hate each other because they're different. I don't give a fuck what side you're from, bro. I believe that should like shouldn't be paying for the fucking water on this planet. We shouldn't be paying for the food that for the plants and shit that grows fucking naturally. You know, if I have an apple tree in my backyard, you know, committee could come and tell me to chop it down. I'm like, that's how I feed my
Well,
family. They don't give a fuck.
they
You
can.
have a farm, you have to pay for permits. You have to pay out your ass, and someone owns your farm because you can't plant stuff for yourself. It's just so
Hmm.
fucked nowadays, and people don't realize this. Nobody exactly. You don't own that land. You don't own the seeds
They
you plant. You don't own the milk you produce. You don't own any of that shit. So people just don't realize. No, brother. If so, you have to get a lot of permits to sell milk to dairy. They don't come and take it. They just destroy it. You don't pass regulations or say you have a bad batch or this or whatever.
no, they want to make it hard and and
That's what.
and that way to
But
where
the idea, the thing is that I'm saying is that people are not in control. They don't own their stuff.
yeah.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
well, that's
So people don't
relates to everything that we've
realize
been talking about.
where we are at in history right now. Like people had more freedom, basically, in the past than we kind of have to do right now. In certain ways, like you can say, "Oh yeah, we can go this." We still have the illusion of freedom.
How do
It's like,
how do you control and make money the best and have power? You have to strip away people's
gotta
freedom
keep funding our wars for
while
one.
also giving them the illusion of freedom. It's now easier than ever. We have an overabundance of shit to just stuff into your face, stuff in your mouth, watch, consume content.
5 different pizza chains, 20
Right.
different shoe
Now you have
brands,
so many
30
options. You have,
channels,
but at the
5 different
same,
streaming stations,
meanwhile, they
8
take
different news
away
stations.
your basic rights of, well, you have to go to fucking Walmart to get your food, right? If Walmart
In
shuts down,
Canada, I think
you're
it's
screwed.
Canada. You have to certain grocery stores you have to like have verification to get into.
Hmm.
That's
But,
the thing. If you look it up.
yeah. Well,
Canada. Sure, it's a thing in Canada right now. Certain grocery stores in certain places. Uh huh. Or if I can correct myself, in COVID times,
no, that
COVID
yeah, for
times,
sure, for sure.
tried to implement
But
that. People,
no, that's just the fact that over the past whatever 200 years, especially within the last 100 and decade and a half, not 100 decade and a half, you know what I'm saying, half century, because we're not even into time is flying, but 1900,
Yo, what's up, Buddha?
completely different thing. So, dude,
What you up to?
talking